Kilo Tango Lima.
Kilo Golf 4 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Golf 4 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, no problem. The call is Kilo Golf 4 Kilo Tango Lima. KG4KTL. The name is Scott. Sierra Charlie Officer Tango Tango. Now located about 80 miles east of Memphis. I'm in the great city of Henderson, Tennessee, 20 miles south of Jackson, Tennessee on Highway 45, which is the Rockabilly Highway.
Roger, Scott in Tennessee, and what radio are you running this afternoon, sir?
Scott in Tennessee, and what radio are you running this afternoon, sir?
And this is an ICOM 7600, and I'm running it into. The reason I wanted to go ahead and get on here was you helped me already with the audio. And what I was wanting to do is I have two amplifiers and I have the ability to go ahead and switch between them. And since you're doing the recording, is it okay if I could do that? I would be doing one vintage amplifier versus one newer amplifier.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Are they both about the same wattage?
Oh, Roger, Roger. Are they both about the same wattage?
Well, this one's 1,000 watts right here. The one I'm speaking on right now is a Heatscan SB220. It was built in 1971, like I was. Same age as I am. And so, anyway, for 52 years old, it's still doing good. I run on the low side of the transformer in the CW2 position. And it has 23500Ds in it. And so now this is amplifier number 1. Now we'll go to amplifier number 2, which is an Ameritron ALS 606S, and that will be running 600 watts. All right, let's see if we get, there we go. All right, we're running the Ameritron now, and bypass the Heatscan SB220, and there we go. And so it's running about 600 watts here on peaks, and with about 75 watt drive. And so there you go. There's an A/B test for you there tonight.
Roger, Roger there, Scott. Well, I just managed to run down to Knoxville, and I'm copying you down in Knoxville because I did not have. I've got a lame QRMer up on Pennsylvania SDR, where I use a lot of copy from, and it's just but you're just about 40 or 50 over as I copy the mail down in Knoxville. You must be really right in the back door of Knoxville, Roger.
The back door of Knoxville, Roger.
Well, that's interesting with the 600 watt that you're able to hear. So no appreciable difference between the two, do you think?
Not in from Knoxville, but I can sample anywhere. Let's try Georgia, okay? Let's do that test again, and I'll copy the mail down in Georgia, Roger.
Copy the mail down in Georgia, Roger.
Okay, we're going on down to Georgia. Okay, we're going on down to Georgia.
Okay, so just give me that sequence the same way we did before, and we'll call this amplifier 1 and amplifier 2, and we'll start the test with amplifier 1. I guess that's your 200, your SB200, is that a Roger? Or 220?
Your 200, your SB200, is that a Roger? Or 220?
Well, in this case, because I already am in position for we'll call it instead of 1, the Ameritron ALS 606S running a 600 watts. 600 watts here from the Ameritron, and we're running it into an off-center-fed dipole about 60 feet in the tree. And so we're going to go ahead and switch out from this, and we're going to go to something vintage.
Okay, so you're giving me about 7 over Knoxville's noise level. You're giving me about 7 clicks over Knoxville's SDR noise level, and I'll be listening for the SB220 or whatever.
220 or whatever.
Okay, so this is the SP220. This is the SP220 right here. And I'm doing 1,000 watts peak envelope power, 1,000 watts peak envelope power. Located 80 miles east of Memphis, Tennessee, and Jackson, Tennessee, 20 minutes drive due south of there. You'll find me right here, smack dab in the center of Henderson, Tennessee, KG4KTL.
Roger, Roger. Okay, as I look, I've got the audio coming back from my output of my 7300. I've got the front end so lightly gain that my S meter is not available, but I've got the output audio of the 7300 up on the VU meter, and I set my VU meter for 0 level on your first transmission. And now with the SB220, I'm getting a plus 2 dB above the audio level of the first one. So the second one is 2 dB hotter, and 1 dB, I'm running about 8 dB noise level. Let's go the other way. I'm running about, about 8 dB noise level. So you're... about 3 dB total difference between the one and the other. Roger, Roger?
Total difference between the one and the other. Roger, Roger?
Well, that's a substantial increase. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so it just goes to show there is a difference between 1,000 watts and 600. So there we go. And here we are again with 1,000 watts on the Heathkit SP220. I thank you very much for letting me go ahead, and we'll leave on this note here. Talking on the vintage built in 1971 Heathkit SP220. All right, thank you. Take care, okay, Dave? KG4KTL.
All right, now I'm on my local antenna up around Louisville, Kentucky, and you're giving me about 15 over. So I'm no longer on the Knoxville antenna. So why don't you give me about 15 seconds and tell me about the best thing you like about your radio. Roger, Roger?
Okay, so the radio is an ICOM 7600. This is on the SP220, and what I like about it is it has a waterfall display and all that. And incidentally, the tuner that we're using for all this is an MFJ 998. And so right now we're running a Heathkit SP220, and I'll switch over to the Ameritron ALS 606S in just a moment here, because you're running your local antenna and you can get a really good measurement, a really true measurement this way. So I'm giving you a good long audio sample here of the Heathkit SP220, and here we go. We're going to switch over to amplifier number 2. And here we are on the Ameritron ALS 606S. There we go. Want to make sure everything's copacetic here. Yeah, we got everything bypassed on the SP220, so everything's fine. And there we go. And so this is with the Ameritron ALS 606 running 600 watts on voice peaks. Peak envelope power there. KG4KTL.
Roger, Roger. On this particular test, they were both about the same. I would think maybe we want to look at that 7300 as far as level, audio level. Do you know how to get to, in settings, to set the bandwidth? We want to be in that 100 to 2900 wide bandwidth. Do you know how to get there through settings?
I do. It's a 7600, man. We've got that. I have it set from 100 to 2900 on the bandwidth. Yeah.
Okay, sir. And then you should be running about a 3 on your compressor processor, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor, depending on how it's labeled.
Now, what was that again?
Compressor processor, whichever one your radio is, we want it to be on a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of the capabilities of that compressor processor.
Okay, this is with the compressor on. Do you notice any difference here when I'm running the compressor here? This is with it on, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Do you have a level control for your processor? We just want a tad of it. We just want a third out of you know, a third of it, a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of that processor. When you get past that, you start getting suck up between the words and mushiness in the modulation level. So we just want a third of it. If you don't have an input control for your processor, I would just take it out of the circuit.
Okay, on the radio processor, the compressor itself, I'm running a third in the scope of things here. That would be a 4 out of possible 10. And then in the audio chain, we also have a Symmetrics 528 and a DBX channel strip at 286, and then a 421 Symmetrics with noise gate and compressor. So that's kind of what we got going on here, man. We got a lot of things happening here. So. But I wanted to do that A/B test with you. I won't keep you any longer. You got a lot of folks out there that want to chat. You got a lot of folks out there that want to chat with you. And I'll go ahead and sign. Here we go. I won't keep you any longer. Here we go, and I'll go ahead and sign the ALS 606, which had zero difference between the SP220, and so that's interesting. So thank you very much for the report, and keep doing what you're doing. KG4KTL.
Roger, Roger. Last thing would be to double check your ALC to be sure you're in that sweet spot. Bring out your ALC meter as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is reading at 2/3. Roger, Roger.
Okay, with the mic gain here, yeah, well, let's see here. Okay, well, it's pretty doggone close. There we go. That's, on voice speaks. Okay, audio, that's probably about, there we go. That's about 2/3 of it right there. There we go. Did that make any difference for you?
Oh, yes, sir. You're a lot cleaner, I think you were just a little tad warm. I think you'll agree. If you want to hear your recording, if you go to YouTube, call it a search for KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we'll have this recording uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. And it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700. And if you get a chance, you can join us next week also. So 73 for now there. Scott, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
All right, KC9VKV, this was KG4KTL, 73.
Roger, Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.